In the late 1970s, a groundbreaking comic book series made waves in the American comic book industry, Elfquest. Created by illustrator Wendy and story writer Richard Pini, was an independent series that diverged from the traditional superheroes and offered readers a rich tapestry of fantasy and adventure. Understanding its success requires a nuanced analysis of sales figures, distribution, and the prevailing comic book industry market during those years.
Initiate sequence. Retrotron Entertainment presents
That 70s Nerd! Elfquest was an anomaly. The late 1970s was dominated by the big players, DC Comics and Marvel Comics. These giants were comfortably producing a steady stream of superhero tales, and any deviation from this norm was a gamble. But Elfquest was different. Inspired by classic Walt Disney, Osamu Tezuka, and J.R.R. Tolkien, Elfquest wasn't about superheroes in tights fighting crime in urban landscapes. It was a story of elves, trolls, and wolves in a richly imagined world. The Pinis' venture into a genre that was relatively unexplored in American comics posed significant risks, but it also offered a fresh alternative for readers who were seeking something different. Sales figures are often a key indicator of a comic's success, but in this regard, Elfquest did not disappoint. Though the exact numbers for those initial years are impossible to pinpoint with absolute precision, it is evident that the comic quickly amassed a significant following. The series began as a self-published venture under the Pinis' own publishing imprint, Warp Graphics, which meant that its distribution was limited compared to comics released by bigger companies. Despite this, Elfquest managed to achieve impressive sales for an indie comic, especially when factoring in the constraints of its distribution channels. It found a niche audience that was hungry for its unique storytelling, and this audience has only gone on growing. One of the keys to understanding the success of Elfquest is analyzing its distribution model. The direct market system for comic book distribution was emerging during this period, which allowed comic book stores to buy comics non-returnably at a discount. This system was a boon for independent publishers like Warp Graphics, because it minimized the financial risks associated with printing large quantities of comics. As a result, Elfquest could be stocked in specialized comic book shops across the country, bypassing the traditional newsstand distribution that was dominated by the bigger publishers. This direct-to-store distribution model greatly benefited indie comics like Elfquest, allowing them to find and cater to their target audience more efficiently. Another significant factor contributing to Elfquest's success was the market forces at play in the late 1970s. With the surge of direct market, comic book stores became cultural hubs for enthusiasts, leading to a growing demand for fresh, new content. As these specialized shops proliferated, there was an increasing appetite for stories that diverged from the mainstream. Elfquest, with its rich lore and character-driven plots, fit perfectly into this new market dynamic. Its narrative depth offered a stark contrast to the episodic nature of many superhero comics, making it especially appealing to readers looking for a more immersive experience. Furthermore, while superhero comics had a more rigid structure due to the long-established universes and character dynamics of DC and Marvel, Elfquest had the freedom to evolve its storyline organically. Elfquest is, in fact, a single, sprawling epic, with a beginning, middle, end, and many branching side narratives. This format allowed the Pinis to delve deeper into character development and world building, something that was increasingly appreciated by a maturing audience. Lastly, it's important to acknowledge the craftsmanship and passion poured into Elfquest. The intricate artwork and meticulous attention to detail, combined with compelling storytelling, made it stand out. Readers could see the love and dedication in every page, and this undoubtedly contributed to its burgeoning popularity. It wasn't just another comic, it was a labor of love, and that resonated with its audience. The success of Elfquest between 1978 and 1980 can be attributed to a combination of factors: a fresh, alternative narrative, and a market saturated with superhero titles. the rise of the direct market system which benefited independent comics, and the sheer quality and passion evident in its production. By understanding these elements, one can truly appreciate the unique place Elfquest holds in the annals of comic book history.
Be groovy, comment, like, share, subscribe.